What's up, folks? It's actually Amungus, your coach of the Atlanta Sobble. Week 3 of the PWD Season 3 is upon us, and we're going up against the Trashtown Thievul and my good friend, one of my favorite coaches in any draft league, one of my favorite content creators, Bishme. Bow! You already know the vibes. This week, Bishme catches me slipping big time. And I want to give all the credit that I can to Bishme throughout this video, because I'm going to go ahead and spoil this one, even though I usually try not to until the end. I played badly in this video, and I want to break down why I lost in week 3. So, with the lead matchup, I liked the lead matchup that I went with, but my problem was with turn 1. I should have went for Cotton Guard, because I tested against this set. I'm Cotton down instead of Regenerator ability, so I really can't afford all the excessive damage. And even though I was correct in predicting the sticky webs on the first turn of the game, if I would have gotten down Cotton Guard up, it would have kept the damage I was taking down, and this recovery would have been a lot more effective. So after seeing the lunge, then I go for the Cotton Guard, which is really a wasted turn and mistake. I'm giving Bishme the initiative at this point in the game and just putting myself further and further behind, even though I'm not taking, like, maybe I'm only taking like half steps behind because of the recovery. I'm not getting the most out of my Pokemon to be effective the way I built them here. Then I end up getting too deep into the exchange with the Araquanid, and we end up, because we didn't Cotton Guard the first turn of the game, we rapid spin the second turn of the game. And then he got to put up his webs again, causing us to have to rapid spin a second time. Now, we don't mind the boosts, but we end up getting poisoned on the same turn. And it would have been much better to just be more progressive, possibly even Giga Drain, or, you know, just take more advantage of the defensive boost that we should have had and not be in this position. We could have also switched at any time to Blastoise and done a much better job of our setup than what we actually ended up doing. But in my defense, one of my things that I was thinking in that decision was that Araquanid does have the possibility of having Water Absorb as an ability. So there is that, in all fairness. But I lost initiative on the hazard battle, and I just basically was ineffective for all my turns with Eldegoss without Regenerator. Especially, I don't need to, like, if I had Regenerator, this would be a reasonable amount of HP to switch in out of after the first Giga Drain, and I would be nearly at full. Come in, you know, poison turns would reset, switch out again, and I'd be back at full probably. Instead, I allow him to focus energy. I do another wasted Giga Drain, because the second one was totally, after seeing the damage on the first one, the second one was totally unnecessary. I shouldn't have went for it. It was a misplay and caused one of my very useful team members to go down right there. Now, bringing out Wigglytuff against the Dragon type does force a switch and allow me to get Stealth Rocks up basically for free. It's one of my best plays. It's probably my best play up to this point in the match, because it also only gives my opponent so many options, and they go with the option to put up the rain, which helps my Wigglytuff a little bit. But if I wouldn't have lost all that initiative early on in the match, and possibly maybe even conserved my Eldegoss, I could have been using my Wigglytuff to heal it as well here, and not have to just spam Thunder. Like, I could have opened up my options more with my Wigglytuff if I hadn't been playing with a lack of positive movement of the game so far. And another great example of how I do this throughout the game as I play is how I play around my Aegislash. Now, my Aegislash is packing the move King Shield. So, knowing that this is a potential mixed threat and that it was at full health, there was no reason for me not to get the advantage of potentially lowering its attack and the advantage of knowledge by scouting out what it does. I could have gone King Shield, Shadow Ball, because I would have wanted to stay in my shield form for that, and then King Shield again. Possibly could have gotten 2 attack drops and gotten more work out of my Aegislash for sure. Maybe, who knows? Can't tell, can't go back in time and change the result, but maybe I could have prevented my Aegislash, which is my team's kill leader, from going down 0-1 this week had I played it to its full potential. Kind of let the kill leader on my team down with the way that I played this week. Then, possibly because I've lost so much time in this battle, and possibly because of the 50%-ish HP that Sieger was at, I decided to just go all in and go for my setup for the week, which was a very niche setup that I wanted to bring to make a cool sweep in the video. But this match is just full of terrible misplays by me, and I end up dropping the ball. My opponent's shown knockoff, and knockoff totally ruins my combo. Had he not gone for knockoff, I could have whirlpooled him into staying in, put him to sleep, shell smashed, and then Jinx would use the knockoff on this turn. However, instead, they get a chance to wake up. They end up getting the RNG, which really a lot of the times in this game, it's hard to blame the RNG. Like, it's easy to get frustrated at that wake up, but the game is really just rewarding the better player and punishing the player that's making worse decisions. Now, we all know as Pokemon players that it's not always that fair in this game as far as RNG is concerned. But in this case, even the breaks that Bishmi does get, they're because of the position that I put myself in. Yes, he did wake up on the first turn there, but I did my combo wrong, allowing him a turn to wake up. And that's the real problem. So the next problem is there's a very simple course of action with this Galvantula. If Galvantula is at +2, you spam Thunderbolt. It is that simple. If it's not a ground type that is out that turn, especially with the Pokemon being 4 times weak to the grass move, then you go ahead and let them switch it in. Even if your electric attack does nothing on the switch in, they're forced to either lose that ground type or switch into one of their other water types and give you the free HP. So, more or less, I should have punished his punish game. Now, I do it at first. I go for the Max and Lightning. Coach Bishmi's going to Dynamax for Dynamax with me here. Probably thinking, Politoed. Sorry, they're both on the team. But Politoed is a fairly bulky Pokemon. But I really need to make sure I live this attack. He does. Rain Boosted Max Geyser does a lot. Switches out to the ground type as I'm talking about. Now, Bishmi's thought process here, as he told me after the game, was to wear out the terrain turns. But as I had already just said, there's no consequence for spamming the electric attack as long as it's not a ground Pokemon in front of me. So, free Giga Drain, not really. He switches into the rocks. Great, like I said, it was a great play to get the rocks up when I did, because Wigglytuff actually ends up picking up 2 kills in its premiere for the season. And, you know, I'm proud of the performance that Wigglytuff put up. But Bishme continues to play the same course of action, and I can see that there's no consequence in doing the go for electric unless a ground type is in front of you. But Bishme actually is going to end up not going for the switch on the turn that the electric terrain goes away. So now, especially with the advantage of having a fairly bulky Pokemon out, he's going to actually live this Giga Drain that I should have never gone for. There was no reason to go for. The risk of going for the Giga Drain was too great, and there was really no potential reward. A kill would have been a kill either way on this, because I outspeed everything that he has on his team. And that forces me to go to my last Pokemon, which is Blastoise. It's going to take a lot of damage, but as you already seen, it's a support Blastoise with really no potential to win this game. And Coach Bishme is actually going to end up taking this one by outpositioning me with the Politoed. And I'm going to go for the Yawn for the sleep, because I got him in the because I want to get him in the Whirlpool and just go for damage. But once again, the game kind of rewards Coach Bishme. I mean, he hits the Hydro Pump because he puts himself in a good position, and he ends up waking up right on time. I believe on the second turn this time, though, because he just outpositioned me throughout the game. You know, I played in a way that did not progress my game plan very quickly, and he was on point with his plays. He was doing his thing. I honestly think that one more turn wouldn't have got me down to, I only had 7 HP, so I would have had to KO that thing. And unless he would have had the full 5 sleep turns, I don't believe there's very much window for me to actually pull off the upset, besides me playing better. So shout out to Coach Bishme. Next week we get Arts, and you know that's going to be an exciting one. So be on the lookout for more PWD content as well as streams. I'm signing off. Peace.